Hi, and this time I'm going to be looking at a great chromatic idea from Frank Gambale. This comes from his solo on the tune The Tardis, taken from his album A Present for the Future. So let me play it a couple of times, then we'll pull it apart. And just before we get into the analysis, a quick reminder. If you'd like to see a transcription of this or any of my other lines and solos, you'll find a link in the description down below. If you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to click like and subscribe. So as I mentioned, this lick is taken from Frank Gambale's solo on his tune The Tardis. It's the solo is I particularly like, with almost a Larry Carlton vibe to it and featuring a real focus on great lines and phrasing and a less distorted, jazzier tone. The lick I've chosen features some nice chromatic ideas, interesting note choice, rhythmic changes and some lovely phrases. The progression it's played over essentially consists of two chords starting out on E flat minor 11 for 4 bars, then moving to variations of E7 for the remaining 4 bars. And Frank Gambale starts the lick with an 8th note pickup into bar 1 and plays this. 3 and 4. So the notes he's playing here are G flat, C, E flat and A flat, which is basically a superimposed A flat 7 arpeggio over the E flat minor 11 chord. Starting on the flat 7, G flat, then moving to the 3rd, 5th and root. Although as G flat is also the flat 3rd of the E flat minor 11 chord, we could also see it as him starting around E flat minor, then playing an A flat triad, giving us an implied 2-5 idea. Either way, it gives us a very Dorian sound with minor 3rd, G flat, followed by the major 6th, C. He then pauses for a couple of beats and in bar 2, starting on 1 and, plays this. 3 and 4 and 1. So this phrase is roughly based around E flat minor pentatonic shape 4, and the corresponding E flat Dorian shape, or shape 5 of the relative D flat major scale if, like me, you find it easier to think about it that way. And he starts out with this little pattern idea. So he's playing the notes A flat, C, D flat, G flat. Then D flat, F, G flat, B flat. And pulling off from D flat to B flat on the top E string, followed by the C. This phrase, although I can't say for certain, feels like it maybe comes from a longer pattern idea like this. This pattern is based around a 4-note sequence within the scale, moving up a 3rd, then a 2nd, then a 4th, then moving down a fourth and beginning again. So starting on B flat, down here on the 6th fret in the bottom string, in this same 3-note per string scale shape 5 of the relative D flat major scale, we'd move up a third, only using the notes from the scale, so in this instance it would actually be a flat third. Taking us to D flat, then up a second to E flat, then up a fourth to A flat, which gives us the 4-note pattern. We then move down a fourth to E flat and start the sequence again, moving across the strings. Although when Gambale gets to the top string, he moves up a third rather than a fourth, kind of playing around E flat minor pentatonic shape 4, and ends on the major 6th, C, which finishes the pattern off neatly. Having said all that, he may be doing nothing of the sort, but either way it still leaves us with a cool fourths pattern idea to play around with. Following the C, Gambale moves down the scale to B flat, A flat, then goes chromatically down to land on G flat at the start of bar 3, which is the flat third of E flat minor 11. He then moves up a third to B flat, then down a fourth to F, then to E flat, moving up a fourth to A flat, followed by a 16th rest, then F and G flat, and jumping down a flat 6 to B flat. So with this little phrase, he's maybe implying E flat minor, then B flat minor on beat 2, then moving back to E flat minor. Gambale finishes this phrase with a laid-back idea sliding to A flat from a semitone above, pulling off to G flat, then back to A flat. So let's put that whole phrase together. Gambale then moves into an arpeggio figure, starting on the 2 and of bar 4, playing F and G flat on the A string, then B flat, D flat, F, A flat, F and G flat, and featuring a nice rhythmic switch from 16th notes for the F and G flat to 8th note triplets for the rest of the phrase. 1 and 2. Notes-wise, he's moving straight up a G flat major 9 arpeggio here, starting on the major 7 F, over the E flat minor 11 chord. So we could also see it as an E flat minor 11 arpeggio. Then going back to the F and ending the bar on the minor 3rd G flat, leading back up to A flat again for the start of bar 5. At this point the chord changes to E7. So the A flat, which was the 11th over the E minor 11, now becomes the major 3rd G sharp over the new chord, which is a nice touch. He then moves into a repeating figure, going down a B minor 7 arpeggio from F sharp to D, B and A. Then back to G sharp, A and G sharp. Then back down B minor arpeggio with the notes F sharp, D and B. Then repeats the same idea. harmonically, he's basically moving between E7 and B minor, so implying a 2-5 sequence of this E7 chord. But although it's a repeating motif, he changes it rhythmically each time. The G sharp A G sharp part is always played as eighth note triplets, but the first B minor 7 arpeggio is a flurry of 32nd notes. 3 and 4 and 1. Then the second time he plays the B minor arpeggio in 16th note triplets. And the final time in 16th notes. 3 and 4 and. So it kind of has the effect of slowing down with each repeat, which is a lovely phrasing idea. Gambale then introduces some more chromaticism, moving up to B on the B string 12th fret, and then coming down chromatically, pedaling around G sharp and the 9th fret between each note. Then moving to G natural on the G string, followed by E, F sharp, and then D on the D string. This again effectively slows down rhythmically, starting in 16th notes on beat 2 for the first 4 notes, then on beat 3, switching to 8th note triplets, then 8th notes on beat 4, and finally a quarter note on beat 1 of the penultimate bar. 1 and. He also ends the phrase implying D major, ending on F sharp and D, the third and root of a D major chord. The final phrase begins in beat 2 of this penultimate bar and is another great chromatic idea. Gambale starts on B on the B string, then plays C sharp sliding to D, then C, C sharp, B, C, B. So not unlike the previous idea, but this time pedaling around the B. He then moves to the G string and comes straight down chromatically from B flat to G. Then to D on the D string 12th fret, which he plays twice. Although very chromatic, we could maybe see this idea as using shape 1 of E minor pentatonic or E blues scale as a framework, then filling the gaps with chromatic passing notes. Gambale closes the lick coming down from F sharp on the G string to E and D on the D string, then A on the A string and F sharp on the bottom E, and finishing on G sharp on the A string, which is again implying D major over the E7 chord, with the F sharp, D, A and F sharp outlining a D major triad. Before resolving back to E with the final G sharp, the major third of E major. This closing phrase also features a nice repeating rhythmic motif moving between 8th and 16th notes. Dagga dagga da da dagga dagga da da. So let's try putting this all together slowly. 2 and 3 and 4. 3, 4, 1. hope you've enjoyed pulling apart this lovely sophisticated line from Frank Gambale with rather more going on than perhaps initially meets the ear. If you'd like a transcription, you'll find a link in the description down below. If you've enjoyed this, don't forget to click like and subscribe. I'll be back soon with more videos, but to close, I'm going to play this at half speed with the backing track, then a couple of times back up to tempo to finish.